Michael Lewis from Empire Improv here, answering another improv question for you. Dan Marino asked me, how do you get over that initial hump of it's kind of starting to improvise? How do you get past that point of being afraid or being filled with judgment or anxiety or whatever that is? Because everybody's kind of got their own inhibitions that are slowing them down from improvising. I think the main way you really want to get over that is you have to put yourself in a context where you're going to improvise. If you're really scared or nervous, find an improv class that's for beginners or an improv class that's for people that are brand new, or a jam or some sort of situation where stakes are really low and it's a learning environment. You're going to be supported, and that's the best way to get started initially. The For most improvisers, it can be a really long journey to get past that whole not judging yourself or judging others' ideas while you're improvising. So I think that is kind of the struggle of an improviser for their entire career. Because the whole basis of improvisation is it's a really simple idea. You're supposed to listen and respond honestly as that character would, which is really simple. But getting the point where you're not thinking about like, what does my scene partner really mean? What do they want from me? Does the audience think I'm funny? Uh, is that pause too long? Do I look funny? Did I react? Am I paying attention and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, thinking? Isn't going to help you out. The best way to improvise is to slowly, through continuously putting yourself in the situation to improvise, getting past that point of fear, to just trust that you're going to respond honestly. What I often remind my students of, that I think is a really good way to think about it, is your body isn't going to lie to you. And what I mean by that is, if you're uncomfortable in a scene, the audience has seen you physically appearing uncomfortable. So your character is uncomfortable. You don't have to invent the way that your character should be the way that your character is being. Now, for a lot of people early on, that means they're going to do a lot of uncomfortable or awkward or embarrassed or confused scenes. That's great. Do a whole bunch of those, get used to those, and then try playing a confident character. So, really, the bottom line is you got to get out there and do it. It's scary and it's intimidating and it's wonderful and horrible and great and sad and funny and silly and all those things about learning anything that's new. And it's really difficult because you don't have control. You have to kind of let go of what you're doing. So I guess my best advice for you to get over that initial hump is get out there and try to improvise. Get out there and find a class or a teacher that really makes you feel comfortable, that's really supportive in a good environment. And I think that's going to be the biggest key if you're really scared, to find a teacher who's really going to make you feel comfortable. So I think that is the best way to do it. Put yourself in an environment. So you find a teacher that you're um, isn't really jiving with you, go find another teacher. There's a ton of improv teachers out there. I know specifically Dan lives in Los Angeles, so there's a ton of different people that he can go and improvise with. There's tons of great teachers there and great schools and different philosophies. So you could go to every improv school in Los Angeles and take a level one class from each of the schools and go, oh, well, this one isn't for me. This one's for me. Oh, this one was really intimidating. I didn't really like it. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, great. Find a different place, because there's a lot of schools that'll teach you or claim that they are the only way to improvise and no one else knows how to do it except we know how to do it. But that idea kind of breaks down, because if you take people from the three biggest improv schools in the country that are really good improvisers and you put them on stage, even though they're approaching it totally differently, they're going to be able to do a really good show, because there's enough commonality between any of the improv philosophies. So I don't know, without going too far into the weeds, bunch of different improv approaches out there. Go find the one that speaks to you. But more than anything else, you got to just give it a try. You're never going to start improvising unless you get out there. If you're in Bakersfield, come take a class from me. I'd love to have you. It'll be fun. All right. Well, I hope that kind of answers your question. You got to jump into the pool. All right. Thanks for the question.